Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining. We still have people joining in, but let's get started. So, hi, I'm Alicia from OfferX, and I'm really glad you guys find time and join us. It's really overwhelming for us. It's a Wednesday, and I understand it's a midweek, and we all have a lot to do. But it's a perfect time to talk about something that also keeps all of us on toes in recruitment. And interesting, today morning before this webinar, I was just thinking recruitment is bit like arranging a wedding. The match seems perfect, but what if the groom does not show up? And sometimes that's exactly how recruiters feel when a candidate goes in the last minute. Like the company is good, the candidate is perfect, the match is made in heaven, but they just don't show up. So today we are diving into ghosting in recruitment, an issue all of us who have joined and more are facing. And also, we'll explore all the exciting solutions that OfferX has to offer. Now, moving on to a very exciting segment that we have today. Let's welcome someone who's not only mastered recruitment but is also reshaping the field. So that also we have today, and like moving to the next segment. So that is something about our guest session today with Prafula Deori. To the next, we'll explore journey of OfferX with me, and then we'll hand over to our very smart team of OfferX who will explain you about ghosting, the solutions. We'll have demos. We'll have introduction to ScreenX about it, and we'll learn a lot about everything together in this entire session. I would request everyone to just stick to the end because it's going to be very exciting. Then obviously towards the end we'll have Q&A. So everyone joining, I would request you to hold on to your questions. You can pop up them on chat and note all your questions during the session, all your doubts. Keep it to the end because our team is going to address everyone, each one of you who has joined. One second. Yeah. So now, this segment that we all have been waiting for, let's welcome someone who's not only mastered recruitment but is also reshaping the field. We are thrilled to have Prafula with us today, a true recruiter, leader, as I might call him. As the mind behind I Am Recruiter, you can see on screen, initiative and a LinkedIn top voice too. So I'm sure we are glad to have him today. Prafula has over a decade of experience in talent acquisition. Currently serving as the head of talent acquisition, APAC at Ericsson, he's been leading the way in addressing recruitment challenges and seizing new opportunities. Today, he'll share insights that will change how we think about evolving the entire recruitment landscape. So, hello, Prafula. Welcome. And before I welcome you, yes, congratulations on the success of I Am Recruiter and your first ebook. We would love if you could also share the link with our audience today. Everyone can have access to it. So, welcome on board, Prafula.
Thanks, Alisha. Thank you so much for such a warm welcome. And yeah, this topic is very much close to my heart. And I can definitely, uh, whenever we are talking with the recruiters, most of the recruiters do feel pain about this particular topic. So we try to talk most of the time. But yeah, we'll deep dive more. But thank you so much for the nice introduction.
So, I'm sure so many people have joined today and they would love to hear from you. And of course, the audience is eager to learn from your experience and somewhat about your perspectives towards the entire topic. So, should we start? Can I do some Q&A with you? A fun session?
Sure, sure,
So,
sure.
Prafula, as it's also available over your websites and LinkedIn and everywhere, I watched your podcast very
Okay.
recently where you highlighted the issue of candidate ghosting. Is something that we are also talking about today. And I found it really insightful because every time we come across different perspectives of different people, and your perspective made me, think through the entire topic very differently. What made you decide, address this topic? Like, do you think candidate ghosting is something that can be fully eliminated, or are there processes that can be put into place to manage it?
Yep. Very nice question, Alicia. But again, like before we start, the example which you gave, right? The wedding, again, recruitment, ghosting, candidate having offer with a company is similar to candidate wedding as well, or normal wedding as well, right? When we decide to get married, we look for groom or bride, and then all of a sudden everything is done, and in the last moment, if the groom or the bride doesn't turn up, everyone is shocked, right? So similarly, even in recruitment, we put so much of effort in the hiring process through the recruitment journey, step by step, like starting from sourcing, then scheduling, talking to the candidate, spending time with him, understanding his requirement, understanding the hiring manager's need, and trying to match everything. And in the last moment, when you go through a whole process, and there we see like candidate ghost at the last moment, right? Again, like to talk about like why I'm addressing this particular topic. Uh, if we see post COVID, right, there has been lots and lots of demand in the market, right? Every company wanted to hire good candidates, not only good candidates, every candidate, right? Every company have good budget with their hand, and every was offering money left, right, center, everywhere, right? So there was huge demand for candidates, and if you see each candidate were having at least 10 to 15 offers in their hand, and because of that, if you see, candidate had the power to negotiate, and for some of the candidate, they didn't even felt like negotiating because they had more power with better brand, better offer. So this is one of the reason what we have seen lots and lots of candidate ghosting. And when I was doing my podcast, when I was trying to connect with multiple recruiters, everyone had faced the similar issue, and that is one of the reason when I felt that, hey, it is one of the burning topic for recruiters. Why can't we talk and address? Because I believe that if we talk, if we communicate well, everything can be solved, right? And there are lots of companies who are trying to do very nice things across to solve this particular program. Example, OfferX is also one of them. So we'll talk more inside about that. But this is one of the reason why I wanted to talk about candidate ghosting.
Yeah.
So before we start, if we can just understand what is candidate ghosting, right?
Yes.
So
Yes.
candidate ghosting itself is a process when a candidate suddenly stop communicating with the employer. It can be anyone, the
Right.
recruiter, it can be the coordinator, it can be with the hiring team. Suddenly he stop responding to your call, to your email, to everything. You can't find him anywhere, right? And you don't know what was the reason, right? So here are some of the example. What we have is definitely that is one example, not responding to the call or email from the recruiter. Again, there are many cases where candidate doesn't turn up for the interview which is scheduled as well, right? So that is also one kind of candidate ghosting. There are other when there is salary or offer negotiation happening, suddenly candidate stop responding or disappear from the whole offer process. So that is another type of candidate ghosting. The last, there are much more, but again, like based on what I have bucketed into four category. So the last category is when someone accept the offer, and in the last day of joining, he doesn't turn up on the day one, right? And suddenly he stop picking your call and stop responding to your email as well. So these are few of the example of candidate ghosting. Now, coming to the next question, can we fully eliminate the candidate ghosting problem? So, in my experience, definitely we can't solve every problem, right? But we can definitely try some of the things which can at least benefit or slightly better up the situation. For example, out of 100%, we can't solve 100% of the problem. We can just try to solve 70, 80% of the problem. And what we can do is enhancing the communication and transparency with the candidates throughout the recruitment journey, right? When you start reaching out to the candidate, try to start telling more and more details about the company, the culture, the values, and other things as well, right? Priorities candidate experience. So many time recruiters are so busy that they forget to prioritize candidate experience as well. So which is also one of the very important topic. Everyone value time, right? And if you want your candidate to be valued during the interview process, you have to do the same thing, right? There are other ways, like for example, if we try to create a more positive employer brand, like by showing like what kind of culture we have, what kind of values we have. If employer can share their testimonial during in the website or in LinkedIn pages and other places as well, so that other new candidates can see what's going on in the company, how the culture and other things as well. Again, other thing is like streamlining the hiring process. Definitely, there are lots of ATS tool which are there, which can help you to streamline the hiring process, because uh, candidate ghosting also happen during the interview process, because many candidates doesn't understand what is the exact hiring process of that particular company. There is lack of communication in terms of feedbacks and other thing, and there are no structured way as well, right? So if we can streamline the whole hiring process, definitely it can be solved, what I believe. uh, Other important factor is we all work uh, for money, right? Money is one of the factors which drive not only money, compensation, and in general benefits as well. We have to pay our bills, we have to take care of our parents, our kids, family as well, right? So addressing the compensation and benefits before starting the interview process is very much, I would say, helpful. It can make the candidates much more feel respectful. Plus, he might feel that the company is very much transparent. So we can align if the expectation of the candidates in line to the budget of the company or not, right? So that is one thing. Again, last but not the least is it's a mutual respect, right? So again, like not everyone will try to share its thing. So as a recruiter, first you have to make the candidate comfortable, try to connect with him, try to make those trust, then slowly try to move to the next process. So these are a few of the things what I believe: enhancing communication and transparency, prioritizing the candidate experience. Number three is employer branding. Number four is streamlining the hiring process. Number five is addressing compensation and benefits of the organization in the earlier stage of the interview. Last is mutual respect, I would say. Uh, so these are some of the ways, Alicia.
And it was beautiful talking to you and experienced people like you. Always I always have a good time because you always share end to end experience, your perspective and everything, and that's why people have joined today. They want to know about it, and the best start of this webinar, I guess, because we have discussed a lot of real life scenarios, the problems to it, and we at OfferX are trying to deep dive into all of these problems. Actually, that is why OfferX was born at the first place, to tackle these issues, tackle these everyday issues, because especially where staffing agencies, HR, recruiters, these people face this on a on a very higher level. Because if I'm hiring one person, it's a different case altogether. Because but if I'm hiring for a client, I'm doing a bigger business here, it does impact me and it needs to be stopped. And like when OfferX started, we were different, but now when we'll get into the session, and now the session is actually getting started, we would know how we have expanded and how we can solve all these issues that we did talk about, that Prafulla did address, and we spoke. So yeah, thank you, Prafulla. And I would love if you can share your links, in the chat, so people can actually connect with you real time. And we would thank from all the people that we have joined today and from OfferX team. Thank you for joining us. It was lovely
Yep.
talking to you.
Thank you, Alicia. Thanks, everyone. I will share the
Thank
link.
you. Thank you. Have a good day. Yeah, so that was it with Prafulla. Quickly deep diving into the journey of OfferX. Yes, we did start in August 2023, and yes, we are in 2024 right now with overall 2,000 plus clients right now. And this journey has been great and incredible. We have September, October, November, December, Q1, Q2, everything on screen for you to look at too. But yeah, let's get started with the next part. Now we have Santosh, the mind behind OfferX that I always say and introduce him in all the webinars and roundtable. And he does it all. He does all the magic. So let's hand it over to Santosh. And I would also like Santosh to introduce himself today because I would not take that away from him.
Right. Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much. So I've been working on the OfferX from the last 2 years, and it's been overwhelming, you know, experience for me actually because I'm dealing one of the serious problem in the recruitment industry. I'm very happy to be part of OfferX team actually. And good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for joining with us today. So this is our ninth webinar, and good to see an overwhelming response from the HR fraternity. Yeah, so let's start with a few of the challenges with that we ran into. I know that we have talked enough about the ghosting part and some of the techniques which we really wanted to adopt in our day-to-day life for all the recruiters in order to solve the problem, right? But let me start with few of the challenges that we ran into so that you'll get a better idea about why we started OfferX. So we ran into more than 100 plus ghosting stories in the past a few years, but we have listed some of the ghosting stories we remember. So the first one was this happened in 2023. The situation was where we were working with one of the strategic partner. So we promised to get a programming manager started in 2 weeks time frame. All the interviews were completed. They created the ID. They provided the laptop. I mean, the client provided the laptop, ID, and everything. Everything was like all set. The only thing we found out just a few days before, the guy is not joining with us. So there is no choice for us. I mean, we can always take some time to buy some extra time from client to recruit a new person. But the problem that was not an option for us at that point of time. So we don't have any option. And then the project has to be kickstarted as soon as possible. So literally, uh, a senior person at a leadership level from our company had to be deployed as a programming manager. So that's how we saved our vendorship at the last minute. The second one is all about a senior cloud manager. After multiple discussions with this candidate, he agreed to join with us, stating that Wednesday is an auspicious day to join. But unfortunately, he withdrew the offer letter at the last minute, saying that he got some other opportunity in Singapore. Then we have to do some arrangements again. It was not that easy for us to find a replacement. It is literally broke our heart because we spent lots of our time and efforts to get this candidate onboarded. As we have a good relationship with the client, they understood the situation, and the kind of support they were giving at that point of time was really great. So that's how we came up with some other solution for him. We came up with a backup for him actually at the last minute. The third one was a data engineer. He was referred by one of our employee. He completed the interviews. The client is like his skills were all good and agreed to wait for the 3 months of time to join with them. We were connecting with this guy multiple times. We made a multiple touch points with them in the last 3 months, and all these days he was all okay and was responding very politely and positively. But he dropped an email just before the joining date stating that he got a better opportunity. So the rest of the ghosting stories are almost similar, but some of them are involved in moonlighting. Some of them joined with us for a few days and left out without any intimation. So can we go to the next slide? Okay, so these are some of our learnings in the past few years. Oftentimes, what we have seen is candidates don't even feel that they're doing whatever they're doing is wrong. It kind of bothers us big time. They always feel it is their right to accept multiple offers and then just join the better one. I mean, we have no problem in candidates receiving multiple offers. It's perfectly fine for us. But we have a problem in candidate, receiving multiple offers. It's perfectly fine, but we don't see any problem there. But what is not fine is falsely committing and making the companies to wait and then finally don't show up. That's totally unethical. So that's not how a person lead their life. So we were just thinking why candidates actually operate this way. So why are they just ghosting on the companies at the last minute? Probably we think they have the feeling in their mind somebody else will join the company and there is no harm to the company. So it seems like there is some notion in the candidate's mind. But in reality, companies are people, right? People get stressed. People who, let's say, HR managers or a delivery manager, when they're supposed to deliver a guy, if the guy is not there, I don't think it's going to be a pleasant experience for them. It takes a lot of efforts to get the projects, build relationships with the client. It's not easy. Suddenly, if you just go and undo all the good work the company has done, that is something which is not great. It's not going to be easy. So that's one thing we have seen where the candidates don't even see that the impact is very big, right? The impact they're causing is something which are totally unaware of it. In some cases, we have seen candidates, falsely pursuing the job opportunity. In fact, they have no interest in joining this company, right? But the reason they wanted to get engaged and go through this interview process is to get a higher offer. They're just doing a window shopping. Even though you give a higher offer, there is no guarantee that they will join. What they're doing is they're actually taking these offers and going after some other companies and hunting for a better pay. So that's something we have seen. And one of the big problem is many times this is happening and it's a kind of a problematic. So in some cases, we have seen candidates changing terms and conditions after the client interview is completed, and some of them write false reviews on the companies. Some of them feels like they can abscond at any point of time after the employment if they get a better opportunity. So this is something which is bothering a big time, right? So we go talk to other companies, they will also say the same thing. We released an offer letter, 10 offer letters, and hardly like 2 guys are joining the company for on the joining date. So it's a very common problem. So that is our understanding. Sometimes we also noticed employees being dishonest, misleading other employees, like spreading false news on the companies, and some of them don't even cooperate during their transition period. So this will kind of create a friction with the client relationships. So eventually leads to an unhealthy environment. Okay, so can we go to the next slide? Okay. So I think we have a small video on OfferX. So this is something which will quickly give you a gist about how to solve a candidate ghosting problem. So can we run down a video?
Are you facing challenges with talent scarcity and unpredictable job offers? Have you experienced the frustration of spending time, money, and resources on hiring the perfect candidate, only to have them ghost you on the start date? Are you a candidate who spends hours searching for jobs and going through exhausting interview processes with no way to verify if the employer is legitimate or reliable? If so, you're not alone. A survey has found over 80% of employers have experienced ghosting after the offer was accepted by the candidate. Approximately 20% of job seekers reported having an employer withdraw an offer after the acceptance by the candidate. This has become a growing problem. This is why we have created OfferX to say goodbye to recruitment ghosting. OfferX is an online platform where employers can release offers through a secure digital portal where candidates can sign in and accept the offer. If there is a violation of the contract or ghosting behavior by either of the parties, it will be flagged and become part of their review history. Thereby, both parties will take the offer agreement very seriously. OfferX brings balance to the system and improves commitment on both sides to add stability and predictability to the job offers. Say goodbye to recruitment ghosting with OfferX. Join now at OfferX and take the first step towards a more stable and predictable job offer process.
So we were brainstorming on how to solve this problem. So we thought there is no review system on the candidates or the employees. So that's exactly why a lot of these individuals are taking an advantage, or I would say exploiting the system. So because if they are ghosting on a company, that history is not tracked anywhere. And they can go on ghost it again and again. So they can continue this for their life because they're not being caught. They're not being caught, right? So that's the main problem. So that's where we started thinking, there has to be some sort of a tracking system to track unethical behavior of the candidates. So that's how OfferX came into existence. So solution was to release an offer online so that a candidate can go and e-sign the document at the same time. They will also give a consent if the experience goes bad or good, whatever the experience is going to be like. The company is eligible to write a review on them. I mean, we can literally write an onboarding review on the candidate. For example, say that the candidate has ghosted, then you can write an onboarding review on the candidate stating that, the candidate has ghosted with a proper explanation towards it. So that way the levels are set right. Even the candidates can also write a review. I see that sometimes even the companies will also ghost. Uh, right, because after releasing an offer letter, so we just retract an offer sometimes. So even a candidate also have an option to write a review on their onboarding experience on the company side. So that is something which is visible for all the third party as well. So that way the levels are set on both the sides. And most often what I have seen is with our own experience, when we release an offer online and when we ask the candidate to e-sign and make them aware, if they back out, there will be a review on you. In a lot of cases, people are not willing to sign. And we feel thankful for that. The reason is because we don't want it to be misled at later point of time, right? So it's working very well for us. And when we release it online, when people are committed, oftentimes 90% of the cases, people are just joining so that we are not wasting our time and efforts there. So let's say if a lot of these companies are releasing offer letters using OfferX platform, so that way, what that really happens. If that really happens, the candidate will have a little bit of a difficult time to ghost the employers, because now they know that they are being tracked and they cannot find the next job. It will actually bring some discipline in the system. So we don't have any problem with the candidates where they're committing an offer letter and they're joining at the right time. We don't see any problem there. But the only problem with the bad guys where they will take an offer letter and will mislead the companies at the last minute. So that's a simple solution, and it has been working well for us and for the clients and for our clients. Yeah. So can we go to the next slide? Right. So as you are now aware of what is an onboarding review, and we also have an offboarding review. So that is something. So I'll just quickly give the benefits of what is onboarding review and offboarding review in OfferX system. So through onboarding reviews, you can understand a candidate's credibility. You will get to know whether the candidate stayed committed to his offer letter or not. In the same way, offboarding review will help you to understand if the candidate departed his ways ethically with their previous employers or not. So this way, you will have a clear picture on the candidates, and based on their reviews, you can take informed decision whether you wanted to release an offer letter to them or not. Right. And we also have a product called a ScreenX. So ScreenX is a step one where you can screen the candidates, where you can take interviews of the candidates through the ScreenX platform. ScreenX is a web-based platform designed to significantly reduce interview screening time by up to 90%. So all while streamlining the entire process from start to finish. So it's incredibly user-friendly. You can easily configure the questions you wanted to ask for the candidates from the predefined set of question bank we already have in the system. The system then sends a video interview to the candidate, allowing them to respond at their own pace. Right. Once the candidate completes their interview, the platform automatically saves it and notifies the hiring team that it's ready for viewing. So we also wanted to bring an AI/ML model to evaluate the screening as well. So that is something which is going to happen in a very short span of time, and we are going to release the ScreenX to the market as soon as possible. So we have candidate search, and moreover, this is something which is very user friendly. So all that you can do is, you can just search for a candidate in the OfferX. For example, if you wanted to release an offer letter to some candidate, you can just search with their first name, last name, or with their date of birth, or with their Aadhaar number. And then you can completely see their previous employer's review in the OfferX system itself. So that's how you can check the complete credibility of the candidate in the OfferX system. So I think we have a short demo so that you can understand more about how does an OfferX candidate search will work. How can you able to see the profile of the candidate? How can you take an informed decision with the reviews we already have in the system? So I'll hand over the things to Sai Kiran. Sai is our a sales manager who can able to provide a quick demo on how does an OfferX works. So over to you, Sai.
Thank you, Santosh, for the quick introduction. Let me just present my screen and run the short demonstration on how actually OfferX works. Um, Santosh, hope my screen is visible, right?
Yes, it's visible, Sai. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Thanks.
is.
Thanks, Santosh. So once you visit the OfferX website, our interface would be similar to the one which is presented over the screen. You can see sign in option and register option and the other options as well. So for the first time registration, then you have to click on register button. It leads to the get started option. Then you can select the account type. So we have two interfaces. One is the corporate, that is a company interface where you can log into the company's dashboard. Second is the candidate interface where the candidate can log into his dashboard. So if you just choose to click on the company and click on next, then there are three options: either create an account or sign up with Microsoft or sign up with Google. You can choose either of the options to create your account and register with us. And once successfully you complete the registration, then you can directly log in to our platform. So I'm using a demonstration account, so I'll directly use my demo credentials and log into the platform. Yeah. So once you complete the registration for the corporate account, company account, and you log into our platform, this is how our interface looks like. We have say like four options. One is the job offer section, then dashboard, then the candidate invitations, then manage employees. And you can see your profile here, who is the administrator and what is the company that is registered with, and other details as well. So three features, like how do we search for a candidate and see the reviews against the candidate even before we release an offer letter? Then how do we see the offer history? Then how do we actually release an offer letter? These are the three most important features that we have. So once you just want to search for a candidate, here you get to see search by a candidate name or by a job title. For example, I'm searching for Mr. Usman Patel. Yeah. So here are the few reviews against Usman Patel given by various companies. Say NextGen India Private Limited, Just Technologies, Apex India Info, and Sortify. These are the reviews given at the various intervals: 7th August, 31st May, 26th April, 5th June. So by this, a recruiter or HR will be able to understand whether Mr. Usman has ghosted in their previous organization or previous onboarding experiences. And once you click on a particular review, here review details, you will be able to see what is the review given by the company to the candidate. So NextGen India Private Limited has given has onboarded for the business analyst position at 7th August 2024. Similarly, even Usman can also reply back from here saying that it was a good experience or whatever the experience the candidate has faced with the company. So this is the bit of detail about the onboarding reviews, and these are the offboarding reviews as well. Once the candidate has joined with the organization, and then if the offboarding experience can be shared towards the candidate by a corporate. So the offer history is this again is a one of the most important feature that we have. Like once any candidate who's accepted the offer from XYZ company, and during notice period or after that, if he's accepting the offer from another company, you can see whether he has accepted the offer, and you can check with them whether you can bank totally with on the candidate or plan for another candidate to source for. For example, if he has accepted the job offer for business analyst role on 29th May, if he's onboarded, it shows onboarded. If he has only accepted the offer, then it shows he's only accepted the offer. Similarly, you get an idea whether the candidate has any previous offer history so that you may extend your offer to him or not. Then how do we release an offer to a candidate? Yeah. So we have two things. One is consent on employment and second is the offer letter. Once you click on the offer letter, for example, business analyst, and the expiry date I'm choosing, say 4th October, and the joining date was like 16th November. I'll just upload a sample document. So I'm releasing an offer letter to Mr. Usman Patel from NextGen India. So offer letter has been released to Mr. Usman Patel. So now if I just go to the candidates login from here, and we will see like how the offer has been received by Mr. Usman. Yeah. So I've quickly logged into the demonstration account of a candidate. Here you can see there is an offer released by NextGen India Private Limited for the position of business analyst on this date, expiry and job start date. So Mr. Usman gets two options. One is the accepted, one is the declines. If so until unless he is accepting the offer, he'll not be able to download the offer. That is a feature we have. And once he accepts the offer, he reads all the terms and condition, is okay with the offer and everything, he has to sign, proceed to sign. Yeah, sign successfully. So from the candidate interface, he has accepted the offer. He's okay with the offer and is submitted, and he has submitted that he's okay with the offer. Then once we go to the dashboard, we can see here this is in the corporate account in the job offer section. This we can see Mr. Usman has accepted the offer on so and so date. 25th today itself, he's accepted the offer. So if the company wants to leave a review, here is an option to write a review. Let's click on this, an onboarding review. So if I say successfully onboarded, I'll give him rating. Onboarded, and I'll submit the review. So I have given a sample review against Mr. Usman. So if I just go again and search for Mr. Usman Patel, here we can see a review. This is the review. 25th September is a review that I've given against Mr. Usman Patel. So this is how we can release an offer. We can see the review system. We can also see the offer history as well. And this is the dashboard section where you can see how many total offers released, what is the total acceptance, what is the total decline, what is the total expired. And this gives a total analytics of what is the total offers to joining ratios. Here from the candidate invitation option, you can invite a candidate. You can invite a candidate in bulk, and you can make them register and come access the platform. For the manage employee section, you can invite a employee of your own to access the platform. For example, first name, last name, email ID. You can assign them either an admin or an offer manager role. So admin will have all the access to the platform. Offer manager can only release an offer from our platform. So these are the complete few features about our platform, and definitely we would love to connect with you individually for an one-on-one demo sessions. Thank you. Over to you, Santosh.
Yeah, can we move to the next slide, please? And thank you, Sai, for the short demo that you've provided. I am sure that people present here in the session would we would connect with you for one-on-one demo.
ScreenX, a product created to find the right candidates for technical vacancies. ScreenX is a free web-based platform that can cut your interview screening time by up to 90% while streamlining the process from start to finish. You can easily customize your interview questions from a wide selection of free options. The system then sends the video interview to the candidate, providing you with a recorded demonstration of their capabilities, giving you a better understanding of their qualifications. Experience hassle-free hiring with ScreenX.
Yeah, so that was a quick video on the ScreenX as well. Thank you for sharing that. So this is something which is going to be happen in the next few months from our side. So we'll update you on once we launch ScreenX into the market. So there are so many things coming up in the next few months. So stay connected with us. Yeah, over to you, Alicia.
Yeah, so coming towards the very last part of the webinar, now most people would be thinking that we already have our HRMS in place. We are doing our recruitment. They are talking about a product OfferX, and they have more features with ScreenX. So we are not here to disrupt what you already have. So I'm sure being a part of this community, most people or all of us here are using a existing HRMS system in place. We are not going to disrupt that. OfferX supports integration with any HRMS via APIs, ensuring real-time data synchronization. We have automated workflows, seamless onboarding processes, all without making any changes to your existing systems. So when you are coming to us for a 101 demo, or when our team is going to connect with you, we are going to brief you on how we can integrate your entire system with us. So it's not like you have a Telegram, you have another Instagram, this and that, and running between apps. No, we don't do that. We are pretty much like a WhatsApp where you can send messages, send photos, videos, make calls, video calls. So we understand the all-in-one app, and we take it very seriously, and we do understand this time constraint for all of us. We don't want extra work or headache, but still, if we want to have this problem solved with your existing company and your HRMS, we will just seamlessly seep into your system, sit there, and without you knowing, we'll solve the work. So I want all of us, all of you all, to please connect with us. Sai will reach out to you for 101 demo, and then we can get started with the process. I am pretty sure it's going to save you 90% of your time and 80% of your cost while recruitment. Okay, now moving on to the next. I'll quickly launch a poll. Can we go to the next one? Yeah, I'll quickly launch a poll on screen. Please participate in that. We would love to know that what is your input after this session. So quickly coming to the Q&A session, we can close the poll now. So in this session, we had, of course, me, and then Santosh, who was our product manager for OfferX and ScreenX. We have Sai Kiran, who gave you the demo and is going to assist you with further demos and integrations. We have Rajiv, head HR and partnerships with OfferX and ScreenX, and this is our panel for today. So please raise your hands, and we can have a quick Q&A here. Whatever doubt you have, please raise your hands. We'll unmute your mic, and please ask your questions to the panel.
Yeah, I think we have one question from Jahnavi. So can offer letter be sent in PDF format? Yes, absolutely, Jahnavi. You can send a PDF. That is something which will work. You can upload a PDF format while you're releasing an offer letter to a candidate. Yes, it works.
And also
to add to that, Alisha, I just would like to add quick input. So in add to that, so I mean, since I come from the HR segment, sometimes we may have a restriction to disclose an offer letter to a different interface. So in such scenario, you can you can integrate a consent letter. You can define a consent letter, and you can integrate through OfferX to the candidate that you are hiring for.
Yeah, so I think we have another question from Jahnavi about the e-signature part. So Jahnavi, this is something which works in this way. I'll try to explain the workflow again. So as an HR, you can release an offer letter from the OfferX system. So it can be a PDF format. That's all good. We don't see any problem there. So you just upload your offer letter, and the candidate is going to do an acceptance or reject, right? So for example, say that he has accepted an offer letter, then you can able to download it. So before accepting an offer letter, no, we don't have an option to download. Okay,
we have come to the end of the session, and thank you all for joining. We also have just Sai, can you move to the next slide? I hope there's no more questions, and but I do understand it's a working day, and it would be really tough to unmute your mic and engage with so many questions. It's a midweek. I do understand. We all do understand. But for that, we would connect with you, every one of you, offline. We would send you support emails, and if in case you want to reach out to us, we have all our contacts here. And we would do one-on-one demos with each one of you. Anybody who has an existing HRMS system and you are looking forward to just quickly, integrate with us and get started, you can drop emails at support@offerx.in. You can do website chat support, use website chat support, or call us in this number. Moving on to the next. Yeah, that's a quick. We also, apart from Profilo, we also have someone from Bright Child Foundation team. We have Sneha joining with us. So just to end the session on a very quiet and kind note, we do actually support a foundation which helps children in government schools. So apart from all the IT and tech savvy stuff we do also believe in the fact that there's goodness in the society and we should continue doing it and spend some time in refining the society. So here is where we donate all the unused IT systems from all the IT spaces and offices to these government schools. So if you are looking forward to donate your unused, used laptops or desktops that are lying on your desks that you're not using as an organization, as a HR, if you have if you're in a decision making position, or if you can connect us with your CSR head or somebody in the company, or if you see there are desks and IT rooms which are filled with unused desktops and laptops and tabs which can come in use for these kids, we would love to connect with you. And if you can connect with us directly, we'll pick up those systems and give it out to these government schools. So that's about it. And thank you, Bright Child Foundation, for taking this initiative. And we also support them. So we would want all of you all to come ahead and support for a good cause too. On that very nice note, I would like to close this session. Thank you all for joining. Finding time in midweek is really tough, but we would get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you, Santosh. Thank you, Sai. Thank you, Rajiv. And thank you, all of us.
Yeah, thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, bye-bye.